Hi family, it's Marv, onerepatatetime.net with an exercise tutorial on the curl. As with all of our exercise tutorial videos, I'm going to explain the setup, the coaching points, the mental cues, all of that good stuff, demonstrate several reps with all that, and then what I highly recommend until you feel confident and competent to do them on your own, do your first few warm-up sets or even a working set with me in your ear, so to speak, because I'll break it down step by step and kind of coach you through it as if you were hiring me for personal training. The curl, believe it or not, has a hell of a lot of information to cover. I will say, for this exercise tutorial video, whenever you are a one rep at a time client and I tell you to do curls in your workout routine, this is a video you're going to reference. So whether you do a cable curl, a resistance band curl, or a free weight curl, this is the video that you're going to reference, right? The coaching points are going to be the same no matter what. So let's get started. Got a lot of information to cover. First things first is the direction of your palms is going to change the emphasis of what you're doing. So most people know a traditional curls with your palms supinated, so your palms are up, that's your biceps. Okay, then we have our hammer grip where your palms are facing each other, or neutral grip is another name for it. You're working the muscle below your biceps and a little bit of your forearm, and then you have your reverse grip curl while your palms are pronated, so they're facing downwards, and that's really bringing into play your forearm muscle right here as well as your biceps. So based on what direction your palm is going to be facing, you can change the emphasis. Whatever direction you're going to choose, that's the one you stick with. So I don't want those curls where your palms are in that neutral grip or hammer grip at the bottom and then you curl up to a regular position up there. You stick with the one direction of your palm the entire time. Switching halfway through is significantly easier, and because you're going to be taxing two different muscle groups, if not three, of course you're going to be able to do heavier weight and more reps, but you're not really taxing a specific muscle. So the biggest caveat is if you're going to do palms up at the top, they need to be palms down at the bottom. With that said, there's a lot of things to do when it comes to free weights. So when you're using a barbell, I strongly prefer a straight bar like this if your wrist can handle it. Not everybody's wrist can handle that. If your wrist cannot handle that for your barbell, you're going to use an easy bar. So for me, with my wrist issues, I cannot do a straight bar. I'm not going to compound my wrist issue. I'm going to use the easy bar. Now, why do we prefer the straight bar over an easy bar? Our bicep job, you can do it. One, you can watch me and do it wherever you are right now. Right here, my biceps job is to also curl my pinkies up. See how my biceps are engaging? So a straight bar keeps your pinkies up, so you're getting a little bit more of a contraction as opposed to an easy bar where my wrists are kind of neutral, right? They're closer to a hammer than they are completely straight up, and you can see, just look at my biceps, how they're contracting. So a way to even know that and emphasize it is to do dumbbells, to curl up, and in this top position, raise your pinkies. You get a little extra bicep contraction by doing two dumbbells and then raising the pinkies at the top. Now, yes, that is a fine detail, but if you're ready for that, or you want to get the most bang for your buck as you possibly can for your curls, because remember, hopefully the majority of your workout are those compound movements, not a whole bunch of isolation work. You could curl up, and then that little squeeze, that little rotation will get a little bit extra contraction of your biceps. Regardless of what you're doing, what grip, what equipment, there's a couple things to keep in mind. First things first, we want our chest up nice and tall. My shoulder blades back, and then here we go. If you're going too damn heavy from the beginning, your elbows are going to flare out, or your elbows are going to start to come forward, and then you're using your front delt, your front shoulder, more than your biceps. So when guys are ego lifting, they're guilty of that. They're flaring out from the very beginning, or they're doing some ridiculous body English. We do not want that. Your elbows, chest is up nice and tall, elbows are fixed in position, curling up. Curling up, curling up. At one rep at a time, we emphasize quality of contraction versus quantity of weight moved. So the curl is the best single example of this. Most people only care about moving the weight from point A to point B, so they haphazardly do a curl. Okay, they don't care about the contraction, they just care about the quantity of weight, or they just mindlessly do a bunch of curls. We don't want you to do that. We want to make the lightweight feel heavy, so how do you do that? You are actively flexing your muscle as hard as you possibly can. So you can do it without weights right now. Squeeze your biceps, get chest nice and tall, elbows are fixed, curl up, squeeze the bicep, squeeze at the top, and controllably lower it while still flexing. See how my hands are shaking? Because I've worked out this morning, so Not exactly a lot of recovery time, but still, even if you haven't worked out, you could get your arms to shake just a little bit by squeezing as hard as you possibly can. Now, isn't that a lot harder than just haphazardly? And also, we also want to control the lowering of the weight. We don't want to just fall out of the sky. That is the negative portion of the rep. That is so damn important that most people totally miss out on. So up, squeeze, control on the way down. And then I'm going to do a few other coaching points and let's get started. So we're going to come, chest is nice and tall. Boom, elbows are fixed in. I'm going to come up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Control it on the way down. Curl it up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Control it on the way down. Curl it up. See how my elbows on my side are not coming up, so I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing one of these where it's essentially a shoulder exercise. Chest is up nice and tall. Elbows are locked by my sides in position. Squeeze. Okay, and then here's breathing. So we breath out, breath in on the way down, curl it up, breath out, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep squeezing on the way down. Breath in, 2 more. So I'm still actively squeezing as hard as I possibly can. Breath in, and breath out. All right. Let's do that first warm-up set or working set together. I don't care what equipment you're using, even if you're using resistance bands, let's do that. So I'm going to use dumbbells for this one as an example, and I'm going to do a hammer grip. So my palms are facing each other. I'm emphasizing the muscle below my biceps and a little bit of my forearm. So nice and tall, chest is up, elbows are locked by my sides. Here we go. We're going to curl up, squeeze those biceps, squeeze at the top, slowly breath in on the way down. Control, control, control. Pause in the bottom, curl up, breathe out, squeeze those biceps. Elbows are fixed, don't let them flare out. Control it on the way down. Control, control, control. Pause, curl up, breath out, squeeze, 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 breath in on the way down. Control the weight, control the weight, control the weight. Curl up, breathe out, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breath in, control it on the way down, control it on the way down. Good. Keep those elbows fixed, don't let them start to come forward. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Control on the way down, control on the way down, breath in. Here we go. We're gonna curl up and breathe. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breath in. Control it, control it, control it. Don't let those elbows flare out. Don't let them come forward. Keep them back and locked. 2 more. Squeeze. There we go. Breath in, breath in, breath in. Keep them in position. Don't let those elbows come forward. Curl up, squeeze. Breath in, breath in, breath in. Last one right here. Curl up, squeeze. Keep those elbows fixed. Breath in. Done. Let me close with this, guys, before we finish this video. Say the last 1 to 2 reps, you're really pushing yourself, elbows start to flare out a little bit, or maybe you do just a little bit of body English to get it at the top. I am okay with that. So here's an example. Elbows flare out just a little bit at the very end, the last 1 to 2 reps, or maybe you give just a little lean back. Get them in the top position and then pay attention to the side angle. Get your elbows fixed and then slowly control it to the bottom. Maybe do one more like that where you kind of get it up. Bring the elbows back, keep them nice and fixed, and control it down. That's a great way to overload the muscle, go a little bit, flirt a little bit with failure. But again, we don't want the first few reps. So the first few reps, you're having to flare your elbows, bring them forward, or rock back, you're going too damn heavy. And that, family, is how you do curls, 1 rep at a time.